What's up guys, welcome back. I hope you're doing well. Now today we're going to be talking about fragrances that I typically wear whenever I go out with a white shirt or a white t-shirt, whatever the case might be. I typically associate this kind of apparel with a very fizzy, light and easygoing fragrance, something very casual, which usually features notes of neroli, citruses, musks, and very light stuff. So it's gonna be basically the kind of perfumes that are specifically made for the daytime, for the office. They're just safe scents to wear without really thinking about bothering everybody around you. I have 5 fragrances to talk about today. I could talk about many more, but I just don't want to repeat myself too much. For example, I think that fragrances such as Neroli by Castle Forbes and Orange Sanguine by Atelier Cologne, and even Allure Homme Edition Blanche, they could all work really well with a white t-shirt. But since I've talked about them already, I just don't want to mention them. I'm going to mention 5 new fragrances from my collection that I think I've never talked about. So I'm going to start off with basically the fragrance that lasts the least amount of time. It's going to be basically an Eau de Cologne with eau de toilette concentration. So it's a bit of a misnomer. The reason why it's called Eau de Cologne is because it has the typical ingredients of an Eau de Cologne, which is neroli, citruses, musks, and some herbs. Only this one, instead of having herbs, has flowers. I'm talking about the ultimate Eau de Cologne, the best one, the only one I would ever have. It is none other than Chanel's Eau de Cologne, guys. To me, this is the ultimate Eau de Cologne. If you love easygoing scents with very high quality materials, then this is the answer. This is the perfume that honestly you don't really need to think twice before wearing it. You get out of the shower in the morning, you put some on, and that's it. And you don't really think about it anymore. The most natural smelling opening, the best quality citruses create this fantastic blend, and you have a solid base of musks and tonka bean to give it a bit of sweetness. It is a fantastic wear, guys. Something that will not last very long on your skin. I suggest you apply it on your shirt. That way, instead of lasting a couple of hours, you will at least get 5 hours of performance. This is such a solid Eau de Cologne. I wouldn't have any other one in my collection, and this is actually the only one I have. Know that if you don't want to spend this kind of money, of course I understand it's a very expensive perfume for what it is, you could simply go for 4711, which is the original Eau de Cologne that was invented more than 300 years ago. Of course the formula has changed, but the way this was created is basically that an Italian perfumer decided to create a scent for the kings and the queens, and his hometown back then was Cologne in Germany, hence the name Eau de Cologne. Nowadays, an Eau de Cologne represents basically a masculine scent that has a very small amount of oil in it, typically 3 to 5%. But originally, the 4711 Cologne had around 15% of oil concentration. So what really makes an Eau de Cologne is basically the notes of citruses, so mandarin, lemon, bergamot, whatever is a citrusy scent, that makes a cologne. Then of course there's other ingredients added, but the main ones are just the zesty citruses. That's about it. So if you want to know what a king or a queen used to smell like in the 18th century or the 19th century, then try Eau de Cologne or 4711. Back in those days, guys, this perfume would cost half the yearly salary of a regular man. So it used to be some very expensive stuff. Nowadays you can buy this for 16 euros and you actually get like 300 ml. So that's ridiculous. And of course the ingredients are much better in Chanel's. So if you should pick one, I would go for this one. Next, this is a perfume that I've had for a year or so. I used it quite a lot last summer. This is Gorse by the House of Laboratory Perfume, an English brand. This is very similar to Creed's Virgin Island Water. But instead of featuring the note of coconut, this one features the note of gorse, which is also known, the original name of gorse is Ilex, which is a flowering plant that grows around the Mediterranean coast in Spain, in France, and Italy, and it has a very coconutty odor, hence the reason why it's so similar to Virgin Island Water. This is mixed with some lovely citruses and a beautiful spicy base note. mostly cardamom. So it is quite a long lasting, very refreshing scent, slightly sweet, perfect both for men and women. It is so good, guys. This is really summer in a bottle. I don't see how anyone could dislike this kind of DNA. It is very simple. It is not going to be too complicated. There's not much to talk about. So give this one a try. If you manage to get a sample, I suggest you do. Try it out and let me know what you think about it. Now, a perfume that I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about, and it's very underrated yet so beautiful, is none other than Guerlain L'Homme Eau de Parfum. Now the Eau de Toilette, which is one that I used to love a lot, is not in production anymore. Now you can only get the Eau de Parfum version, which is not that bad because honestly, you will have the qualities of a very light citrusy scent with some deeper notes, and it will last quite a long time. This has notes of rum, patchouli, vetiver, so it has a very solid base. It is beautiful, it is long lasting, it is gentlemanly. It is something that anyone could wear and you will make an impression. And the amazing fact is that this only costs about $25 to $30. It is a steal. Of course, if you go to the Guerlain shops, if you go to a perfumery shop, it will cost a bit more. If you find good deals on internet, go ahead, and you can honestly have an amazing result with a fragrance that is worthy of a signature scent. Very fascinating, extremely well-rounded, very high quality materials. Of course, this is a Guerlain, guys, so you can rest assured you're gonna get the best of the best. Along with Chanel, Guerlain is the ultimate designer brand, no doubt about that. They've been doing this for over 170 years, so easy stuff, guys. Now, guys, this is probably one of my favorite fragrances ever for the summer. Nobody's ever talked about this one. This is from Tom Ford and it's Vert de Fleur, which literally means green of the flowers. And the name says it all, guys. This is a very bitter, green, floral scent, very dry. It has a wonderful note of galbanum, which lends the dry greenness. Then you have some floral notes, such as iris and lily of the valley. Lily of the valley is one of those accords that are created in order to mimic the real thing, because there is no natural extraction for the lily of the valley. So the way it is done in this fragrance is that it is very green, so it lends some more greenness to the galbanum, and it also has a beautiful note of iris, which lends some powderiness, but it has nothing to do with all the other irises that you've tried, guys. This is so different. It's basically an homage to one of a perfume that one of my aunts used to wear. It's called Diorissimo. Nowadays, it's not the same anymore. Like most fragrances that were amazing 30 years ago, nowadays they suck. Diorissimo and maybe Vert, all these slightly chypre fragrances with mosses and greenness that a very classy lady would wear. This is basically an homage, but it has a lot of manliness to it. This would make a great masculine scent, and it also has some vetiver base to give it a bit of kick and hence the masculinity in this formula. Guys, give this one a try. This is the only perfume that I'm going to talk about that actually garnered positive reactions from my girlfriend. I was going down the stairs, she was following me, she received a huge dose of this scent and she claimed, "What is this thing that smells so beautiful?" And she got closer to me, she smelled my neck, and she claimed it was me, and I was wearing this, guys. So honestly, this is a winner, not only because she complimented on it, because it is just magnificent, very well done. Now, this last one I'm gonna talk about is very special. This is something I only use for very special occasions, whenever I go at a party or something very casual yet important. It is a perfume from the house of Fragrance du Bois. It's called Oud Vert Intense. Guys, this is the longest lasting by far of all these ones. It is very pricey. It is a polarizing brand because you can claim that this kind of DNA is not worth this kind of price, And I might agree with that, hence the reason why I got a small bottle and not the 50 ml or the 100 ml. I would never spend that kind of money for this kind of scent. The oud in the base, this obviously has oud in it, lends this fresh scent such a particular effect. Basically, you will get spices, you will get ginger, cardamom, you will get a beautiful orange top note mixed with very strong base notes such as oud and vetiver and all the base notes that are typical of heavy scents, but it is fresh, it is refreshing, it is dry and sharp. It is a very lovely, classy perfume. I think you should sample it. I'm not saying you should blind buy this. No one should ever blind buy anything, guys, but honestly, if I had to pick just one fragrance, if I was a normal guy that would only wear one perfume in the summer, it would be Vert de Fleur, because it is so unique and it's so delicious. As soon as this decant is gone, I'm gonna get at least a 50 ml bottle and then see where it goes. Guys, this is just the perfect green scent. Fantastic, guys. So I hope you enjoyed, guys. I didn't spend so much time describing the perfumes as I usually do, because these are very simplistic scents. It's not something that you can spend too much time describing. So if you want something for a casual occasion, something to wear during the daytime at the office, this is your answer. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you again in the next one, and take it easy. Take care.